Thank you very much for coming. My name is Craig Leach. I am the Fife Climate Hub Manager. And thank you very much for coming along to our Community Climate Grants information event. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk you through the Community Climate Grants. Hopefully you will feel that you are able and then feel a little bit inspired to then go ahead and apply to our fund. We're also joined by Mandy Pauling, who's a Senior Project Officer, and Andy Habshaw, who is the Comms and PR Officer for Climate Action for the Fife Climate Hub project. So they might chip in as we go through. And what I intend to do at the event is just to do a quick presentation. We'll run through what the Community Climate Grants are, how to apply, and the different pots that are available. And then at the end, if you've got any questions for me and the team, or you want to run past some ideas that you've got for putting into the fund, then you can just run them past us and we can let you know whether you think they're suitable or not, or ways that you could tweak them. Okay, so I'm just going to start by sharing my screen. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Can we see that okay? Somebody out there?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Pauline. Okay, so first thing to say is that the Community Climate Grants is a partnership. So it's a partnership between two Fife climate-based projects. The first one is Climate Action Fife. So this is a project that empowers, it's a partnership project that brings together individuals, communities, local governments and businesses to tackle the climate emergency and make Fife a greener and fairer place to live. It's run by a network of 12 partner organisations that are spread across Fife, and it's led by Kirkcaldy and it's funded by the National Lotteries Community Action Fund. And then there's us, the Fife Climate Hub. So we are a project that empowers community-led action on the climate crisis. We build capacity of existing community groups working on climate and deliver stronger collaboration between them. We reach beyond the climate engaged to grow a diverse network across Fife and provide a voice for our members to influence local and national policy. And the Fife Climate Hub project is delivered by Fife Communities Climate Action Network, and we are funded by the Scottish Government. And it's actually the Fife Climate Hub who are administering the funds for this project. So what are the funds? So it's available to community groups in Fife to create climate action in their local area, and it can be through running events and activities. It can be to start new climate projects, or it could just be to build capacity within your community group to better deliver grassroots climate action. The funds are both open to all community organisations, no matter what the main area of delivery. So in the past, we've had youth groups, gardening groups, community trusts, all sorts of different community organisations apply. And there are 2 distinct grants available this year. So we've got the Small Grants Fund, which is open to any 5 community groups who want to deliver climate-related events and activities, and that fund can cover costs up to £500. Then there is Pot 2, which is the Seed and Development Fund, and that's open to any community group who'd like to start up a climate project or build their capacity to better deliver climate action. And that pot has up to £1,000. So groups are welcome to apply for both. So it could be up to £1,500 that you could get for your organisation to do climate action. So who can apply? So we welcome applications from local community groups or organisations who are based in and working in Fife. The grant is open to all community groups, no matter what their main area of delivery. And like I say, we've also youth groups, gardening groups, community trusts, we've had church groups, botanic gardens, just to name a few. So we're looking for applications from grassroots organisations. We can only accept applications from constituted non-profit distributing organisations, and your group must be constituted, and you will need to have your own bank account in which to transfer the funds. Or you could partner with another organisation that does have a bank account. It's another way around. So now to talk about the 2 different pots of money there. So the Small Grants Fund is to support any activity that engages your local community in the climate emergency. So your activities should increase knowledge and awareness of the climate emergency and or increase skills and confidence to take climate action. The £500 could cover things like staff costs, volunteer expenses, room hire, event material, or marketing. And ideally, we'd like the activities to be aimed at people who are not already engaged on climate action. So it's all about getting the climate conversation going in your community. So for example, you might want to run climate-themed film nights. You might want to hold a simple climate conversation discussion group, do a lead walk with a climate change theme, or even run a reuse and repair session, or organize a tree planting day. And we're quite open to ideas, but it's all about engaging people and having climate conversations. And that just leads me to my big piece of advice if you're applying for this fund, is to make clear in your application how you're going to get the climate message across to those participating. You need to let them know that what they are doing is a climate action or how it relates to climate change. So if you're running a gardening project in a community garden, you need to make clear why growing your own vegetables is a climate action. Or if you're buying a reusable party kit, as somebody did last year, how does reducing waste impact the climate emergency? So it's just making that clear in your application. That's my top tip. The second pot is the Seed and Development Fund. So this one is all about people who want to start up new projects or they want to build their capacity to deliver climate action where they live. So for example, you might want to start up a new project. Could be a community fridge, community garden, or a tool library. Or you might want to take forward an idea that your group already has, but you're just waiting for the money to help you make it happen. And it could also be used for match funding as well for a project that you've got planned. You could use it for project development. So if you are not sure what your community wants to happen in terms of climate in your area, then why not find out? So you could, example, do a feasibility study. You could pay somebody consultancy fees to come in and do a bit of research and fact finding where you live. Or you can use it a bit more creatively to build your group's capacity to deliver climate action. So it might be just a special bit of training that will really help your group grow. It could be website development, volunteer expenses, utilities, or running costs. Or maybe you want to go and visit another project who's doing great things and find out what they do, and you need travel expenses. You could all do that. It's all about anything that you can prove will build the capacity of your organization to take climate action. So we are open to suggestions on this one, and we're very excited to see what people suggest. And this fund is up to £1,000. These are the things that we won't fund. So this is linked to the way that our funders work. They won't pay for statutory activities and activities that replace government funded loans, endowments, or interest. You can't use the money to pay somebody else to write your application. For political activities, any activities that will make profit, or any VAT that you can reclaim. It can't be used to fund things that you've already bought. And it is a very much a community-focused project, so it can't benefit any individual, and which is why we only pay into the bank accounts of organizations. We want to fund any religious activities or any alcohol as part of your project. So that's a little list, and that is on the website as well if you want to check that back. So this is where you need to go to apply. You can download the application forms from the Climate Action Fife website. And what you need to do is fill in that form, answer the questions as best as you can, return that application to the info@fcan.org.uk email address, along with a copy of your organization's constitution. And the application deadline is the 22nd of October. At the end of the project, one of the requirements is that you fill in a little end of project report that just reflects back on what you did, who attended, and also what you've learned from taking part. And also sharing any case studies, anything amazing that happens, any highlights. And of course, we'd love to see your photographs as well. And again, all this information is online. So here's the quick timeline. We have the applications closed on the 22nd of October. Successful applicants will be informed around about mid-October. And the delivery period for your projects can be from the 4th of December all the way through to the 3rd of March next year. And we ask that project reports be submitted about 2 weeks after the final delivery date there on the screen. And it's not a huge, big, massive report we're looking for, just let us know the answer to the question, so it's not a big palaver. And also the final date on the screen there is the Fife Climate Festival. So this is something that Fife Climate Hub is coordinating. And it runs from Saturday 24th of February to Sunday the 4th of March. And it's going to be a celebration of community climate action. So it's going to be filled with interesting and inspiring events and activities that are happening across Fife. And hopefully we're going to have a whole load of different partners involved. So we are going to invite community groups across the kingdom to organise events during this period and to send them in for our programme, which we will help boost through promotion and get more and more people involved. And we've timed it quite nicely to line up with the Community Climate Grants project. So we would love to include any projects that we fund within that festival period. So if you do go for it and you're thinking about when should we have our event or our activity, then we would encourage you to think about sometime during the Fife Climate Festival. That way we can help you promote it. We'll put it in a big program with lots of other cool stuff, and you'll get a little boost through promotion for social media. So it'll be good for your activity, and it'll be good for raising the profile of your organisation. So do think about that as a delivery date if you haven't got one already booked in. If you are interested to find out more about the Climate Festival, then the link on screen there is the one that you need on our website. There's a Climate Festival link, and you can register your information and you'll be kept up to date about how the organisation is going. And if you want to include other events that you're running in the festival programme, please do get in touch with us as well. And finally, a little bit on support. So there is a really good resource page about how to run climate-themed events and lots of other useful links to resources around the internet on Climate Action 5's resource page. And we will also be running How to Talk About Climate Change training in January 2024. So that will be aimed at groups taking part in the festival and those that we funded through the Community Climate Grants programme, and probably open to anybody else who's interested. But that will be put on just to help you think about how you can get the climate message into what you're doing. So to get involved, that is our email address. Apply for the grants on the Climate Action 5 webpage. And if you want to keep up to date with everything that the Climate Hub and FCAN are doing, then you can sign up to our newsletter as well, and it will arrive straight into your inbox.